the one, Hannah, she was barren. And the Bible says that the Lord shut up her womb. But we find that there's another one by the name of Peninnah. Someone say Peninnah. Yeah, and Peninnah irritated her and talked about her and taunted her on a regular basis because she was unable to bear a child. And you must understand that in the Bible days, back in those days, to have a child, and especially a man-child, that meant everything. It denoted who you were. It built up your status as a woman or as a man to have a man-child. And so when I didn't have a child, it meant that I was less than, so folk thought. You know, there are many of you that you don't have the gift that other people have, and you're not as talented, so they think that you are. And why should you be trying to play an instrument? Why should you try to go and start a record label? How dare you go and try to do a CD? You haven't been singing that long. But I'm here to tell you that even though you may not be the most talented, you may not be the most gifted, God has already, I don't know, but I feel like preaching just a little bit. God has already predestined, predetermined the outcome of your circumstance. And I dare you to touch your neighbor and say, it's in my favor. It's in my favor. Favor says is, even though you've been standing in line all day long and now it's time for you to go, God says, I saw you sitting way in the back, but come on, baby, I'm going to usher you to the front of the, it's not fair, but it is right. Here it is that my name, Hannah, is favor and grace, but God, you've shut up my womb. Where is my favor to produce greatness? Where is my favor to produce this man-child? Is there anybody in here who recognizes that God has greatness on your life? He's given you all the tools that you need to bring about, but it seems like you're being blocked. And God, you told me to start the school, but there's nobody signing up and bringing their applications back. God, you told me to open the business, but every time I go to get the door, every time I go to get the building, I go to do the paperwork, it doesn't fall into place. God, you told me to start this church, but ain't nothing but 3 people in here. God, you told me to start the music ministry, but all 3 of my singers all sing alto, and can't neither one of them move from another. You told me, but you blocked it. I don't understand. How is it that my name means favor and grace, but the Lord shut up her womb? This happened at church. It happened at church. You know, that's the place where you thought that everybody was going to love you and be concerned about you and have your back and it's all good and I'm happy because God has blessed you. But sometimes, baby, that's where you'll find the biggest haters at.
That's right.
It was in the company of friends that I found the knife stuck the deepest in my back, because I thought that while I was at church, that when I was down on my knees having a little talk with God, I thought you was praying with me, but really you was talking about me because I had holes in my shoes.
Right.
Yeah, when I got up to sing my song, I hadn't been practicing all week, but I had been worshiping all year, and I stayed in His face. And so when I got up to sing my song, the tune wasn't right, but my heart was right. And I thought you had my back, but you was talking about every crack and running and crevice. But it happened in the church. I'm trying to calm down, but I feel like thank you, Peninnah. Thank you, Peninnah. Yeah, Peninnah is for. She's for your development. If it wasn't, oh my God, you ought to go home tonight and get on the phone and call a few Peninnahs and say, hey, I thank you. I appreciate you. I'm more anointed because of you. I appreciate you. If it wasn't for you, I would be trying to calm down. If it wasn't for you, me and my husband never would have got married. But I thank you, Peninnah. Somebody shout, thanks, Peninnah. Somebody with your blessing. Every day you had to look at somebody who talked about you and kept you from getting, or thought they were keeping you from getting to your place of destiny. There are many of you that every Sunday you got to sing next to a booger that can't stand you. Every Sunday you go to a church that you're getting irritated. You tired of the Sunday school leader. You tired of the youth leader. You tired of pastor letting that booger that's fool around with everybody in the church, get up and preach to you. You're tired of going to the same church where that deacon who want to sing every Sunday, he the one that turned out some of the young boys in the first place, and we wonder why they're walking around this that deacon. I'm tired of Peninnah being in my face every day, but you must understand that when Peninnah, oh my God, when Peninnah irritates you, it'll get on your nerves. But when it starts getting on your nerves, you have no other place to turn, because I can't talk to other folk about it. They don't understand. Because you ever been through something that nobody really understood? You couldn't talk to mama. You couldn't call 1-800-JENNY. You couldn't call Tyrone. You couldn't reach nobody. And even if they did know, they couldn't help you. And so what you did was you turned and you had a little talk with Jesus. That's what I used to hear the old folks say. I had a little talk with Jesus. I told him all about my troubles. He heard my pain